Hey, it's Rashad. Alright, I wanted to talk about diet stuff. Alright? Now, I see a lot of people fighting over diet stuff. We're talking about veganism or calories to lose weight or health by diet or like protein, carbs, fats, the right kind of macros. Now, a lot of the reason people fight, I notice I have some problems with people, is that they make emotional arguments. They say everyone should kind of do what they want to do. Everyone should kind of just like eat what they like eating. And it's all good. Like there's no real consequences. Like they're not really that bad. It's not worth it like for a couple of years to add on a few years to your life, that kind of stuff. Now, that kind of stuff doesn't lead us to improve the problem. And the problem is that we have a lot of sickness and disease in our society. A lot of cancer, a lot of heart disease, a lot of diabetes, and the list goes on with other ones. But they're the three big ones. There's a reason we have them. Now, it could be diet and it could be other things. But there is a lot of information, a lot of studies that test on people, that are tested on people, that have figured out that diet does play a role. Okay, what you eat does change how your body works, how well you feel. Okay, so when we argue, if you change the conversation into, oh, we should all do what we're happy with, what we're comfortable with, what our traditions, kind of what our cultures do, don't want to upset people, oh, I like this food and they like that food and well, I wouldn't want to change. You're moving away from the point of finding the truth. The truth is what you want to get to. The truth is what you want to know, because the truth becomes your belief if you find it out, and that affects your decisions and that affects your reality. Okay, the reality is that people are sick in hospital. The reality is that people are unwell because they eat unwell. And how do we know this? The biggest argument that people don't fight is the fact that the studies that are done on people where they take them and put them on a diet that's maybe plant-based, low-fat, whole foods, or calorie controlled or whatever, and they lose weight or they lose their disease. They improve their heart disease and open up their arteries. They get rid of their diabetes or greatly lessen the need for insulin for the diabetes. And they get to eat foods that they actually enjoy eating. And yes, it takes time to develop your taste buds, but it happens. Now, what is the argument against that? Like, what can you argue against that? Some people have said that, oh, it's because they improved their diet that they got better, that they stopped eating junk food and they started eating like whole food, like potatoes and beans. Yes, but where is the studies that show people that started eating, that got rid of the disease in the same way, that got rid of prostate cancer from Dean Ornish, that got rid of diabetes from Neil Barnard, that got rid of heart disease from Caldwell Esselstyn, that did the work that McDougall did, that got rid of all those things, and Joel Fuhrman. Where's the studies that show that people that ate chicken breast or salmon and vegetables got rid of the disease the same way that those people got rid of the disease? I'd like to see that. Until then, you're just saying, oh, but like, that's not the real reason they improved. But you're ignoring the point that they did improve. They got better, and that is massive. I mean, if someone got rid of diabetes and improved heart disease or helped their prostate cancer or bowel cancer, I mean, it's huge. It's huge news. How can you just, obviously, it's an emotional appeal when you're saying, oh, it's because of something else. It's not because you have to do the diet exactly the way they did it. Well, they tested it that way for a certain reason, because they had suspicions and because of past tests, etc. You know, like a build-up effect of what might be the cause. So, if there isn't something else that has the same results out there, well, why don't you try something else and bring those results? Until then, you cannot deny that something works and give excuses that it doesn't work, but it works. If you want to say why it worked, well, can you prove that why it worked? Design some new tests, come up with some new things. There's a reason they designed the test that way. All right, so get rid of the emotional appeals. Oh, I like this, we should just do things how we're all happy doing them and all that kind of stuff, because that doesn't help anything. Let's just stay the same, pretty much is what you're saying. All right, but then it's not true. You don't really feel that way, because then when you know about something, when you know something's unhealthy, say you have a bias against soft drinks, or say you think that like a particular food is a bad food, fattening, or like bananas, or say you think white starch is bad, or pasta is bad or something, then you start to say, oh no, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, because of things that you've been taught and that you've figured out and that you think that that's the evidence. All right? So that means you do really think people should change a certain way to be better, and they shouldn't just stay the same and eat whatever they want. Truth is important. Things being tested on people is important because we get to find out truth. And we get closer to the truth. We get something that we can model after. That's what we want. We want to model ourselves on something. That's how we learn. That's how we improve. You see a great singer, you want to model yourself on that singer so that you can improve like them. You want to know how did they learn. You want to know, even if you can't figure out how they learn, you know what they do so you can copy what they do. Same with getting healthier. If people got rid of diabetes, heart disease, cancer, you want to learn what they did so you can get better. All right, so it's really important to not dismiss stuff that's has a lot of weight. I would say that's a lot of weight if some people got better by doing something. It's important. Okay, so let's keep looking at these studies where people actually get better. Go to those doctors I mentioned, Dr. McDougall, Dr. Joel Furman, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Dean Ornish, and there's some more, but those are the main ones that I can think of right now in my head that I follow. Dr. T. Colin Campbell. Look at their evidence. And if there's people saying, oh, that stuff doesn't really work, well, what do you people have to say about the tests on real people that were done? Not just, oh, but vitamin this and vitamin that, and like all this distraction. Oh, but like old people used to eat this and whatever. Okay, but why don't we go by the evidence? What do you have to say about that? How can you fight that? Tell me, I want to know, because if I'm wrong in what I'm believing, then I want to know and I want to improve. But if you don't fight the evidence with different evidence, or you fight the evidence by saying, oh, it's not really like the real thing, they're kind of wrong. It works, but like that's not why it works. Well, tell us why it works and show us some proof of that. Okay? That's my rant for today. Hope you learned something, and tell me if I'm wrong about something. Correct me. I'll see ya.